People always ask me, what is PR? Most girls think the life of a PR girl is all about parties, fashion, and social media. I'm Alexandra Moresco, and I'm going to show you the grit and grind behind what it really takes to be a PR girl. I'm really excited because we're still getting RSVPs. Like, literally, I checked my email this morning, I had like 5 more, so I think we're at like 45 now. So it should be good. I know. So hopefully the rain stops and, like, give or take 5 or 10 people will be right at the 35 mark we want. So it won't be overcrowded. All right, I will see you tonight at the panel. Yeah, we are. Yep, I'll see you tonight at the panel. Bye, Sarah.
They say it's a man's world.
Hey everyone! I just want to thank everybody for coming and supporting What Are You Wearing? We're a fashion platform. We do editorial and we have an amazing podcast that Mary hosts that you'll get to meet in a second. She's hosting the panel tonight. You're in store for some amazing conversation with some kick-ass ladies who know their shit about PR. I'm going to introduce Mary and ask all the panelists to come up and take their seats, and we'll get it started for you guys.
I would like to start the conversation off by giving everyone the opportunity to define the industry of PR in their own words. Alex, we'll start off with you, and then we'll just go down the row.
So personally, I do a lot of entertainment PR and a lot of event PR, and I don't know if any of you are in entertainment PR, but you deal with a wide variety of things, so it's more managerial. So personally, my experience with PR is that right now you're like dipping your toes into all these different things in digital strategy and advertising and PR duties, so you never really know what to expect. But it's really exciting because that means like the industry is evolving and now we get to get our hands into all these things that we couldn't before.
Yeah, I think for me at its core, it's about figuring out what you have that's worth talking about and then finding people who care about the fact that you want to talk about it and inviting them into a conversation. So when you are starting off in the beginning of a PR strategy, that's really the question that I always like to ask. What do we actually have that's worth talking about, and why should anybody care about it? And from there you can build back. Once you have a really strong answer for that question, you can start to figure out the best way to communicate that, whether it's through social or an event or an blog strategy. And with so many different channels right now, it's both challenging and exciting to be able to tell that story in so many different ways.
I would say food and beverage PR is all about relationships. I host media, influencers, basically anyone who can really help these restaurants almost every night of the week, hosting brunches, cocktails, breakfasts, just to get people in the venues to try it and experience it. And once they do, they're more likely to write about it.
And in the realm of like fashion PR, I always say that it's a lot like dating, and I feel like I'm like constantly dating my editors and stylists, because at the end of the day, the designer is really dictating the trends. So it's my responsibility to get in front of these editors and stylists. But if they don't like me and don't want to work with me, then I'm not getting the opportunity. So I feel like I'm constantly trying to impress people, take them to dinner, take them out, stalk them, understand their interests. I always say I'm like managing a lot of different relationships. So
Same. I definitely recommend internships over books. It's who you know, like what you know, being able to communicate to people and seeing like trends and stories and communicating that in a very succinct way.
I think for me, I categorize wins in 2 ways. You like really have to learn to appreciate your smaller wins because all of those add up and they support like ultimately a bigger goal and help you like achieve that goal. So don't overlook any small win. And then you have like your larger win. So for me, like right now I'm working with a national TV client, and a win might look like we got a meeting with Bravo, or we nailed down this really important call, or because for me, I'm not just doing his PR and getting him placements, I'm media training him and really training him and telling him like what it's okay to say and like what it's okay not to say. So those always feel like a win. And then it's like obviously placements are just like getting an email back sometimes feels like such a big win, and I feel like everyone can relate to that. When you send an email, you're like, there's no way they're going to email me back, and then an hour later you're like, holy shit, this is real.
Has anyone on the panel had to handle and solve a true PR crisis?
I mean, in food and beverage, the stakes are pretty low. It's not like political PR or anything, but it's like things go wrong all the time. I haven't really had any crazy crises, but one was I did a TV segment. The chef made lobster on TV and he killed the lobster on TV, and a bunch of people called in and complained and said we were murderers and things of that nature, and I'm like, noted, never kill anything on TV. Even lobster, even a live lobster, dumping it in a pot, don't do it. It's not worth it.
A fly off your face.
Don't do it.
As the publicist or the one like running an event, you always have to be the one to maintain your cool, even if you were internally like losing your shit. So that's really hard, and I like thank God have never had like a serious crisis. Watch, it'll happen to me like next week now. But I had a client go on Windy City Live and like bring his dog and not tell anyone, and then the dog peed on air. And luckily like everyone thought it was really funny because it's a really cute dog. Its name was Pickles. Like, how do you not love it? But yeah.
My biggest advice would be come from a place of yes. People ask me things all the time, like producers, writers, and I say yes immediately because I know I can make it happen 99% of the time. Yeah. So like, hey, can we like come shoot here, and can you make this? Can you do this at this time? Like, yes. If like I can find a chef to make food to do this at some point, and
I'll
if it's not
my friend up and make her pretend like she's
and if it's not my client, then I will go to another publicist and be like, hey, can your person do this? So from doing that, I get a lot of producers to come to me first. They're like, hey, I'm doing this segment. Do you have somebody who fits? Or hey, I'm doing this. Do you have somebody who fits? And most of the time, I can make it happen with my clients. And if not, I build a relationship with another publicist, and I'm like, hey, there's an opportunity. Would you be able to do it?
That is like the secret to success.
But yeah, just saying yes.
Saying yes, yeah.
Because I have so many like other publicist friends who are like, no, we can't do that. We need like 3 days notice. I'm like, that is not how life works. And the sooner everyone realizes that, the better they'll be off. But yeah, just saying yes and then making it work is kind of like my work philosophy.
You can do whatever you want to do and you don't have to wait for someone to tell you, but along with that, you have to work really hard along the way. Like, if you're not above doing like the schlep work, like I can't tell you how many years I spent like lugging shit around and building lists. Yeah, I still lug shit around. I lug shit around all day today. So just don't be like offended when you get to asked to like do the schlep work, and this sounds so simple, but just be a nice person. Like we were talking about before, people in PR and in general can be really catty and it really sucks. But A, it's just better to be a nice person, and B, I feel like similar to Fallon's story about the QVC guy that like now is Madonna's stylist, you never know where someone is going to end up, and like a year down the road they could be your equal and you could have to work with them every day, and it's just better to have it be amicable than a living hell. So.
Well, thank you everyone for being here tonight. I hope you all learned something from everyone. Now enjoy some wine and mingle amongst yourselves.
Wait, I want a selfie with you guys. I really wanted like a really select group of women that like actually you can like communicate with them, and you know what I mean? It's not like, I don't know. I saw you out of the corner of my eye. Hey. Come say hi. Sorry, I wasn't trying to scare you.
I wanted to introduce myself.
Hi.
I'm Jamie Newman.
Nice to oh my god, hi! Sorry, that's so creepy. I'm like,
oh my god, no, as soon as I saw you, I'm like,
I'm not fake, I promise. I'm not an Insta-bot. Yeah. Okay, deal. Hi!
That's so funny.
Thank you for coming. Good.
Hi.
I know it came out today. I'm so excited. You have no idea. Show me. It's so beautiful.
I really think this could be the start of something new for What Are You Wearing? I've always wanted to do some sort of annual event where we bring wonderful young women together who want to learn from each other and have a really good time. And I think Mary's going to be the perfect person to help me execute those.
I could not be happier with how this panel event turned out. To get ladies like Crosby, Fallon, and Victoria to be a part of this amazing event, I mean, it was so much fun being in that room tonight. Now I just need to take some time for myself.
They say it's a man's world, that a woman should know her place.